black people, there ain't no secret. We started out broke, poor in this country. We ain't have a thing. After slavery, most of us didn't have a thing. We ain't had no positions, we ain't had no money. So we was barely making it. Getting here from the government or whatever we were doing at the time. I mean, it was hard for black folks. And then, you know what I'm saying, ending slavery. You ain't got nothing, you ain't got no business, you ain't got nothing. So we went back to what we knew, growing our own food and stuff like that. That's how my people was. My mom people and my dad people, they come from out there in the country. And they grew food and stuff like that. Grew their own food. And I remember as a kid going at my grandma's house. On my dad's side, I'm supposed to have all kinds of trees, with fruits on it, and all kinds of vegetables and stuff. So we ain't too far from it. And set back 400 plus years, come on, how would y'all feel to be treated that way and expect to thrive in an economy that left us behind? We was left behind. A lot of us, we still struggling to this day just to make ends meet. I know I am. I wasn't left with no inheritance, no none of that. My mom and dad had 3 kids. They were struggling. I remember we moved to Memphis when I was a young lad. We had an apartment out there. Stayed together for a while, but it didn't work out because they were arguing and fighting a lot. And then we ended up getting divorced. My mom, she ended up getting her own apartment. We moved to the project, like that's how it is with black folks. You go somewhere based on income, or you struggling, you gonna go to stay at some apartments that don't cost a lot. You gonna go somewhere, you know what I'm saying, where you wanna pay a cheap rent. So this where we stayed at. Most been done there, some cheap old apartments, man. When I say cheap apartments, they were cheap. So in that area, crime was real high. There was a lot of crime in that area, a lot of people doing drugs, a lot of people getting drunk. My mama had it hard trying to take care of us, you know what I'm saying, doing it on her own. My dad, he used to come see us here now and then, but it was mostly her doing everything on her own. The doctor's appointments, bringing in the groceries and stuff like that. Then she still had to work. Try to find a babysitter and all that type stuff. We used to go to my neighbor's apartment. They stayed next door, right to us. You know what I'm saying? And they used to keep us. That's who used to keep us. Our neighbors kept us while my mom worked. You know they ain't do a good job. We got to man outside doing whatever. All at the stove. Being kids, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's time for hard. Being in the project, not knowing where your next meal gonna come from. Struggling, man. With the rest, we gotta deal with roaches. My grandma stayed over there in those apartments. They had an apartment over there. My great grandma had an apartment over there. Auntie had an apartment over there, and my other auntie, she stayed over there by the church. So all of us over there in these cheap old apartments, trying to make a living. My mom, you know what I'm saying, trying to make a living for her kids, man. We stayed in church, that's all we did. We go to church or school, that's all it was. So I got my religion early, my faith in God. I put that on early. These streets I used to walk the streets so many times just to go to church and go to my great grandma's house afterwards. We spent a lot of time over there. She loved that church, boy. When I said that my great grandma loved that church, she loved that church, boy. But that's how the hood was. It just filth, it's trash all over the place. The why the land's so cheap, because they already know poverty over here. And this car shot up, man. Gotta worry about brothers trying to kill each other. Oh, this and that. There's a kinfolk stay down there. And these nasty old apartments, and the place that we call home. Like a real live dump. This is why I went to school at kindergarten. We used to call it coins, but now I see this spilled brains. I used to swim over there. And that's why I used to walk to school. I had to walk to school with my sister and a couple of my neighbors. We used to get chased by dogs and everything, man. We in plenty of danger. Gotta take care of ourselves out here, you know what I'm saying? Our parents got to do this and that. My mom had to work. You know, that might work hard trying to find us better. And I'm right around the corner on 201. Right around the corner, man. From a good old 201. When I say, man, we struggle. I'm still struggling now, man. I'm still struggling now. And I know a lot of other people of my color in America, they still struggling too, trying to find a way up out this mess, know what I'm saying? Trying to stay ahead on the bills. And we already sit back so far behind, and still they're trying to have something to this day, man. It's hard. That's how it started for most black people. Poverty. We started in poverty. And we trying to fight our way up. Fight our way up. We ain't got no businesses. We ain't got none of that. And most people, like us, we gonna die that way. Nothing. No business. No land. No nothing. A lot of us can't even afford a grave, can't even afford to get buried, don't even got no life insurance, no anything. So stuff gonna have to start change for us, man. We gonna have to get it together one way or the other. I know we far behind, but a lot of it, you know what I'm saying, caused by us, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I'm saying, wanna turn up and all that, and now we're gonna have to cut all that out, man, because we're gonna have to get a plan for stuff to get better around here. It's just a piece of my background. We'll continue on tomorrow. Peace.